Hello and welcome, I am Dogbert and this is my updated Arena infographic so you know who to use against what defense in Arena. Always remember nothing is 100% guaranteed to work all the time due to the high resistance of Morgan and the need to land the ability block turn 1. There are some teams that can survive and win, although the chances are low if they don't land the ability block, and there's always that chance you could come into that match where neither side lands the ability block. So with all this said, let's take a look at some of the more popular defenses I'm seeing and have questions about and what you can use to beat them. So we'll first start out with both full Darkhold and Stormhold, because pretty much what you use to beat Darkhold now beats Stormhold as well. And the best team I think right now for taking on either of these teams is the Sharon Carter Eternals Morgan Rogue comp. The reason for this being you can use Rogue, get that trauma on Agatha, hopefully get the Disrupt landed. You probably want to run Rogue as a skirmisher to get those debuffs on her. Ability block is also nice, but the big thing is the Disrupt and the trauma, because then she can't go under stealth when she drops below, 30% I think it is. And Sharon Carter is pretty much a guaranteed stun on Morgan Le Fay. You're always going to use her to stun her, plus then you still have the Cersei stun on top of this. You still have a Rogue stun on top of this. You could end up just really stunning most of the team. Of course, except for Dormammu if you're going as a Stormhold. Another team that also works if you're having some issues, maybe you need to slow them down, maybe you're punching up, is replacing Sharon Carter with Emma. You do lose that stun, but you do slow them down to that 10% speed. That could help you out. Another team which I actually have down in the yellow I want to talk about is replacing Rogue with Loki and using Emma, Eternals, and Morgan. It is not so much a guarantee to work, that's why it's in yellow, but it is a very good team to use if you are punching up to a bigger Morgan as far as stars are going. The reason being, you really need that T4 passive on Loki. Even though it's only an extra 10% minus 10% resistance on the other team, it does help you land an ability block. It's also a good team to use if you're just having a bad day and you just can't seem to get your ability blocks to land. And of course, the older teams that I used to use, the Emma Eternals Morgan Dormammu and Emma Eternals Morgan Agatha, they still work. They're just not as good as the new teams that have come out now with Rogue. So just keep that in mind. If you're still using them, you have a higher win rate with teams with like Rogue or Rogue and Sharon Carter, or even just Sharon Carter and Emma. That works too. I forgot to put that one on here. Up next, we're going to get into some of these more hybrids. We have the Demons of Stupidity. Agatha has a 5th with the Eternals Morgan and Emma. Best counter for that is to actually just bring in Loki in place of Agatha. This will guarantee that you go first because you'll have that speed advantage thanks to Loki, and you have the same amount of mystics. Pretty much when you're looking at hybrids, it's count the mystics, try to have less mystics, or if you're going to have the same amount of mystics, bring Loki in to give you more speed. But also using a non-mystic works well too. Rogue works there, and so do Kestrel Omega Red. They all work. They all will knock them out. Now we have Emma Hold. Well, guess what? Emma Eternals Morgan Rogue works incredibly well. So does Kestrel, Omega Red, and even Dormammu, because you would have revives then. So that's all pretty simple. And here's the big one that's been a major pain for people, I know, especially before you have full Darkhold, or maybe you don't have a very strong Darkhold. So you go with the infamous Speed Eternals or Loki as a 5th. Now this one's really interesting because previously I used to always say full Darkhold, full Stormhold. There was even a case for an Emma hold, but now I found a new team which absolutely destroys it, and that's the team you see here at the top: Lady Deathstrike, Emma, Rogue, Sharon Carter, and Morgan. It's absolute destruction because you only have Morgan as a mystic whereas they have 4 mystics, so you're getting that full bonus. They're only getting a 5% bonus for your Morgan. Your rogue is plenty fast enough now to go and get in there before their Cersei. And you can land, you nearly need to land actually a slow like on Cersei as part of the ability block thing with Morgan. But Lady Deathstrike's also going to give you a little bit more room by knocking back some turn meter. And of course Rogue's going to go in there, do her turn rewind, plus you got a stun. Actually, you know what, let's hang on a second. Let's go and take a look at the video. I'll probably explain it a little bit better of how I took on that team and how I beat it. So let's go and take a look at that quick. Since I don't really I never put this into a video because I just discovered this, I figured this would be a good time to insert it. This is the team I was talking about. I'm actually targeting Icarus here. This actually put the slow in both the Eternals, which is what you want. Plus we had the ability block on Cersei to keep her under control. We're using Lady Deathstrike, knock back that turn meter more on Icarus. We don't want him to get a turn. And you can see I use Morgan there. Here comes Sharon. She is going to stun their Morgan. Loki's a non-factor. Emma's a non-factor. She's under control. We now have a chance to stun somebody. We just go ahead and stun Cersei. She does, so she doesn't take a turn. Goodbye Icarus. Goodbye Loki. This match is pretty much over. Once you break up those Eternals, they lose a lot of power, especially since we got rid of Icarus. So you can see just how much this team does destroy it. I wanted to get this in here. I remembered as I'm doing this video because I didn't have this in my previous video. But it shows you just how dominant this team really is. We beat it in just a little over a minute. Okay, I hope that video helps you with how to deal with this Loki as the 5th and why you really want to use that top row team. And the next team we have is the Demons of Stupidity with Dormammu as a 5th. Again, you're going to be seeing this Eternals Emma Loki comp coming in quite well. Again, giving that speed bonus, but you can also use a Mega Red or Rogue. Either one of them works. Again, you'd be mostly concentrating on getting those Eternals under control or just taking out totally and taking out Dormammu either first or second. But generally you just blow them up and it's pretty easy. If you see my previous video, you see how easy it really was to blow them up with the top comp. It really is a bad defense, honestly. And finally, the last team I ran into is this Emma Morgan Eternals Rogue comp. I've only found one team that beats it, and that's again the Emma Morgan Eternals Loki comp, giving you enough speed to get to their rogue and kill her out quickly. And of course, keep your Cersei. As long as you land those ability blocks on Cersei and on Morgan, you're okay here. That's why that Loki resistance comes in again. I think you could probably... No, you couldn't probably mirror match it, but you could probably bring in like Sharon or somebody. Needs a little bit more testing on that one. I don't know if there's any others I haven't thought of. But I'm expecting to see some more interesting defenses in the future. I'm starting to see some Morgan by herself again, kind of more like this Lady Deathstrike comp. I think we're going to see some more of those as people just try to get that first turn. Plus they'll kind of play around with things. We'll have to see how those work out in the future. And as always, this I will have a link to this graphic in the description below. Just remember, nothing's guaranteed. We'll have to see what kind of new hybrids come out of it. I have some ideas myself I'm going to be trying on defense. I'll have to see how they work and see how they play out. Until next time, everybody.